Taking college courses can be rewarding and challenging. Now imagine doing that right after serving in the military. MC has many student veterans doing just that. We interviewed 6 of them for a program called Enlisted to Enrolled. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll find the link to that in the description below. In this video, you're going to see an expanded version of an interview with just one of those veterans. What he has to say is very interesting.
The decision for me to enlist was basically, it was a couple years after 9/11, and I was working about 6 jobs and trying to get money to go to school. The main recruiter that was recruiting me was like, oh, you should do something in like building houses or this and that. And I'm thinking, I was like 19 at the time. I'm thinking like, oh, that's boring. What? I don't want to go into the Army to build houses. They show me this video of 19 Delta, of guys on motorcycles and jumping ramps and coming out of water and all this and that. I'm like, whoa, that's what I want to do. Then the recruiter turns around and looks at the other one. Hey, he wants to be a 19 Delta. And they give each other a thumbs up. We got one. We got one here. That was why I chose the job. A lot of people, when they go into boot camp, they have a different opinion. They have a different thing that they think boot camp is gonna be. And I understood that they were trying to break you down to build you back up. So understanding that and going in with that, I knew that everything they were gonna throw at me, it wasn't personal. It was that they were trying to build me up as a soldier. So of course, the first time, you get there, you have your bag in hand and you just have somebody just screaming in your face all the time, 24/7. It just felt like we were just screaming. And I remember doing I swear it was like almost 300 push-ups on the first day, because it was just them, oh, you didn't do this right, push-ups. Oh, you didn't say this right, push-ups. You didn't do anything right, push-ups. Everybody, push-ups. You're breathing, push-ups. Anything it was, you're just doing push-ups for no reason. But again, they're trying to break you down to build you up. And I understood that. And going into that, I didn't take anything personal. I ended up going to Kentucky for training, Benning for airborne school, Alaska for my duty station, a brief stop in Germany, then got to go to Kuwait, then Iraq. You're connecting with these people that, we come from a lot of different backgrounds, and being able to get all these guys together and being able to put them together and make us work as a team. We had Jason. He was a bit older, but he was like our big brother, the class clown that we would say, the guy who always tried to make you laugh. That would be Holiday. My gunner, probably one of the craziest, nastiest, funniest person that you'll ever meet. Then you had Rango, this like little short Mexican guy that was he had so much fire in him, and he was always on top of everybody. And Wakeman, my medic, crazy dude, but he knew how to do his job. We took care of each other. When you first got there, and we were all fresh, new kids who were like, we want to help out, we want to change the war. But the first time that a bullet went by and they tried to blow us up, all of that went out the window. All of that went out the window. We did not think at first they tell you we're there to help the people, but then after that, you're just like, forget the people. It's all about us. They try to kill us. They try to blow us up. It's about us. When we're in the military, it's something that we would say, when you're in the suck, you hate it. It's the worst. You want to get out. Pushing forward a couple months, we're driving. I'm driving my vehicle into, there's Route Bug and Route Chevy. So we were going to Route Chevy. Route Bug has been littered with IDs. And then Route Chevy was going into a town that we were going to go into our patrol base that the Iraqi army had taken, but abandoned because they were threatened, so they just abandoned it. So of course, then we took over the mantle of that. Something as a driver you have to remember is that you have to remember your road. So I have 2 roads that I'm assigned. So every time I drive through them, I'm supposed to remember the whole entire road and remember anything that wasn't there. So I ended up driving through the road. I see this big patch of just recently dug up dirt. And then I'm like, we stop the vehicle, we check it, and then our command says, oh no, that was us. We did that. Don't worry about it. I'm following orders. So I end up driving Now we're in a bank, so if we're driving around it, if I go too far, then I'm gonna roll the vehicle over. So I have to drive kind of like half in, half out. So half of my vehicle's on the dirt and half of it isn't. So I'm driving up slow, and then I wanna make sure there's no wires, because sometimes they would target the middle of the vehicle, so they would split us up, and then they would ambush us. They blew the explosive, and it hit half of my vehicle. So when it hit on this side, blew the top of the front of my vehicle. I blacked out. I remember I blacked out for a little bit, and then they woke me back up, and then we continued our way, because they tried to ambush us at that time. Luckily, nobody got hurt. The only thing I got out of that was really like a concussion, which later on turns out to be a TBI, and that was just where it all started going downhill. So then that happened in the middle of the week, and then at the end of the week, when we were about to go home, we had a crew come in, a camera crew, and they wanted to take some pictures. So they wanted to then, instead of doing the team that was coming in, instead of them doing the patrol that they usually do, they combine our groups because they want to have a full force picture. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I'm already thinking hot shower. I'm already thinking hot meal, because we've been there for a week. And when you're out for a week, you're not changing your uniform. You're not doing any of that stuff. The hygiene stuff. You're not that. So all you have is this uniform that's been attached to you, and you just feel the grittiness and the dirt and everything just on top of you. Now, when we're coming back, there's a bridge, and they've already tried to put some IEDs and stuff. So we're checking for the bridge, since we have to cross it, to make sure there's no explosives or anything. At that point, I'm in the back, and I end up switching with one of my platoon mates, just because it's been 6 months. We're bored, and I'm usually on the left, he's usually on the right. So we ended up just switching. While we were checking, I'm pulling security on a knee. I actually felt something first, and then I heard the shot. So I felt something burning in my leg, and then I got startled, and then I heard a shot. At this time, I thought I just got startled because of the shot, and I fell down. But then I ended up trying to get up, and only my left leg was just pushing. And I'm pushing away and pushing and trying to get myself up, but my right leg isn't responding. And then all I can feel is I can feel like the bone just in my leg. And that's all I can feel. The bullet went in, snapped my femur into 5 pieces, and then ricocheted up in my body, and it got stuck there. They take me in the chopper, and then they take me out. Well, I ended up being in Germany for a good amount of time. That's where my surgery took place. And then I ended up at Walter Reed. And that's actually how I ended up here in Maryland. I was trying to move on to my next chapter in my life, but it was scary. It was scary just because I didn't know what was out there. And then it started becoming tough because you don't have that backup. You don't have those people behind you anymore. Once you're out, it just feels like you're out. They don't really respond to you anymore or really see you as you're in anymore. You're gone. You're a civilian now. I think being out in the real world has put it that we're alone in a sense. We're not alone, but we are, because this has been like a very difficult time in a sense for me, because all my friends and platoon and everything, you're part of that unit. It's like they just took you a part of that and dropped you in somewhere when you're supposed to be with this unit, but you're there by yourself. And then I'm dealing with recovery and everything, and nobody's there. And not to say like my family wasn't there, but at the time I felt much closer to my military family than my actual family, which was crazy to say, but it was true. You know what I'm saying? And that was rough for me in the sense that got taken away from me. Well, at the beginning of coming to this college and then being able to go to these classes and sitting in these classes, and you have basically a whole bunch of kids, because most of these kids are younger than me. And of course, either they're on their phones or they're just not interacting with anybody else. It was hard because you feel like you don't have any connection. Do you feel like you want to talk to them, or do they even want to talk to you? And what are you to do? Do you just be like, oh, I'm the veteran guy and yada, 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 and tell them my whole life experience? I'm not going to do that. Good thing I had the backup of the Veterans Lounge and being able to go to the veterans and being able to talk to them. I probably wouldn't even come back. I'd probably do one semester, even half a semester, not come back because I wouldn't have that support. I was already going to MC when I was actually in my last year in the military while I was having a couple more surgeries. I ended up coming here because they said, this is one of the best community colleges and yada yada. And I ended up coming to campus and seeing it first. And then I ended up meeting Jason and Joanna. Thank God for them. Like, it was so great. To tell you all the things that they do, I'd be here like in an hour or 2 hours to tell you everything that they do for us here. And it's such an amazing, like, I've been to at least 2 other colleges or campuses where there wasn't that much attention to detail to veterans. Anything that I need, they're there for me. And like, if it's just school related or just life related, even through the best of my times, even my worst of time, they've always been there. They actually care about you. They actually want to sit down and listen to you. They want to hear about your day. They want to hear about your life. They want to talk to you. They want to make sure you're doing everything right. They want to make sure, literally, what a family would be, that's what they are.